Sure. Thank you, Rishi, and I think a very relevant question. So first, I must congratulate the quality of report. I think it brings really good regional insights, which is very interesting to see because when we average out at India level, a lot of regional insights get missed. So a good effort there, and a deep one. Now coming to a question, I think there are two parts to it. One which touches upon tech-driven growth, and the second aspect you are uh, looking at is innovation part. So let me first talk about the tech-driven growth. So what the percentage number, the growth number itself, I mean, it's very good number, like close to double-digit number that you're talking about. At the same time, if you also notice macroeconomically, so India is already growing at in excess of 7% or about that, and coupled with the inflationary factors. So this growth number is not a surprise. So in my mind, it is not primarily driven by, let's say, technology or technology driven things, but the foundational part of it is coming from inflationary and consumption story, that the overall consumption is growing, the inflation is taking part in it. But of course, I mean, having said that, I believe that is the real driver, but the technology is playing a role in it. And especially when we look at India versus Bharat, the modern trade, there the technology is playing a role in a very clear way. I think most of us, we are now used to the fast deliveries, the e-commerce wave, and I'm pretty sure that people in this room, um, uh, I mean, most of us must have experienced in a way, and maybe ordering almost on a daily basis. So it's really happening. It is touching our lives, but overall India is doing well. So that is one aspect. The second aspect you talked about is the innovation. So unfortunately, India, because from a because I'm deep into the logistics sector and I see the contracts happening with the big players, mid players, uh, both national and international. What I see is that India is growing, and one of the reason India is growing is that it is very frugal in terms when it comes to cost structures, and therefore I would say that not innovation are leading it, but yes, frugal innovations are leading it. Because I'll give you one very simple example in logistics industry. I mean, we have been always believing that uh, EV is going to be expensive technology. And in one of my own e-commerce company experience, where I was leading the last mile deliveries, where we would use these Tata Ace size vehicle, 1 ton vehicles, and in that activity, we replaced almost 40% of Delhi NCR vehicles with EVs. But this change happened not because EVs were expensive. This change happened because one, of course, I mean, there is a bigger agenda about sustainability, but the larger chunk could get turned within a year or maybe year and a half was because operating EV is cheaper per kilometer. So it's I mean, so these are the innovation I think which are helping, and these vehicles did not come just like that. I mean, to develop these vehicles which are actually costing us cheaper in e-commerce space is mainly happening from a lot of, let's say, work happening between these big e-commerce companies and the manufacturers. So a lot of collaboration is taking place, but at the same time, India is still not innovation led. When we see even large customers need to take, let's say, automation decision versus using manpower, they would still try to go with manpower because it's a in a short term that is beneficial for this year. So we are still a bit far away from taking long term views, and therefore to summarize, basically I still believe that tech is contributing, but still it long way to go. And on innovation side, also there is a strong mindset in India decision makers, where they're choosing mostly on cost front, short term versus